Ways to create consistent content. Tips for consistent content creation. I'm Lucy Griffiths and I'm going to show you how to consistently show up on social media, on your blogs, on YouTube, and create content every single day without it feeling like it's completely overwhelming, stressful, and of course to the detriment of your business, because you want to be able to create one piece of content and repurpose and reuse it. I'm going to show you how to do this. Hello, so we're looking at ways to create consistent content. And one of the key things with creating content that actually shows up regularly is about getting a plan in place and ensuring that you have a structure and an order so that it's easy for you to create content consistently. If you're like doing one thing one day and one thing the next day and then repeating it over and over again, it takes you a long period of time. But if you can do something, plan it out, film a lot of videos or create a lot of blogs or whatever it may be, if you can do a lot of it and batch create your content, it is much more effective. And this is the way that I can create content and lots of it and really be consistent with what I put out there. So I'm going to give you a few tips. The first thing I say is that I have produced about 42 videos today. And so I'm literally having one day where I film videos. And if you can do that, it really helps because you get through a load of videos and then you do the editing stage later, but actually it means you've done the filming, you've done the hard work. And so when it comes to the weekly scramble of like, oh God, I've got to create a video, actually you've done it. You've done your videos, you just need to edit it. And then in the same way, you can batch edit your videos. Or if you're doing something like Pinterest, you can batch produce a load of pins or for your blog posts or create a load of blog posts in one day. So I'll talk you through some of these techniques. Let's dive in.
Creating consistent content can be really challenging because we can feel like we're on a hamster wheel, that we have to create different pieces of content for different social media platforms. And all of this can be a full-time job before we've actually done the business of running our business. So how do you appear like you're everywhere, create lots of content, and at the same time repurpose and reuse the existing content you have so that you are consistently showing up, delivering value, and giving great content? If we start with YouTube, I create consistent content, especially for YouTube, and then I can repurpose this for elsewhere. So when you start with YouTube, YouTube is, it takes a while to build and grow on YouTube, but the reality is that actually you can get consistent reach. People will search for your content on an ongoing basis, so it has a lastability, duration factor that the other platforms don't necessarily have, and they cannot compete on this level. But it takes time to scale on YouTube, and so you have to be prepared to be consistent, but also know that not many people are going to see your content when you first start out, because it can be challenging. But the more videos you do, the more you will scale, and it will be much easier once you're growing consistently. So I create content especially for YouTube, and then I repurpose it for elsewhere. And so I'll come up with different video ideas, which I then put into my spreadsheet. So I have an ideas bank basically. So here's Brainstorm, where I just put down all my video ideas that I might take notes on, put it in here, and then from that I do my keyword research to come up with ideas of the particular video. And I also will save questions from my audience. So I have a free Facebook group, and people put in, I'll ask them questions there and I'll save the pain points. So that's kind of how I come up with the idea generation. Once I've done that, I will then upload the video to YouTube. And basically so this particular video here, I'll just remove the sound 1 second. And so I will then, from this, I will then share the content as soon as the video goes live, so I can use that as a way of creating content. So I'll share to Facebook, although no one really will see it on Facebook, and the same with Twitter. But actually, people do see the content on LinkedIn, and I'll also share to Pinterest because video is new on Pinterest. And so I'll also take this kind of description that I've written out, and I'll save that to use in other platforms. So I'll sort of save that bit of content, and then if I'm then sharing this to Pinterest, I would then go to Pinterest and include that bit of blurb, and then you've got the video. I would then also, and choose which platform, I'll just get rid of Pinterest now. I would then also use this description that I've created as a kind of starting point to write an email. So that would go out to my list. In addition from that, I can then use this as a starting point to then also create a blog post. I save all the transcriptions to my videos and I turn these into posts. And so this can then be, a really strong blog post, and I can then also use that for other pieces of content. So we've covered LinkedIn. So here's a video that I've shared to LinkedIn. In addition, I could upload this organically onto LinkedIn and you get much, much better reach, but I'll do that at a separate time. So I share to LinkedIn, and then maybe a month or so later, I'll upload it organically onto LinkedIn, and it gives, a great reach. I will then also, here's my business page on Facebook, and I'll upload it directly to Facebook and share the same description. As you can see, here's lots of different videos I have. And so this way I get much better reach because it's been uploaded organically into Facebook, and so Facebook is much more prepared to share this than if it's just a link. And so you can upload that to your business page, and then from that share it into your group or wherever else you want to share it. You can also then cross promote into Instagram, and I then also will then have, and we'll go straight to my business page. So on my profile, I'll then also have YouTube videos that are exactly the same content that I've uploaded onto YouTube and onto Facebook, and so it can be repurposed for Instagram. And I also have shorter versions that I've created specifically for Instagram that is 1 minute long that goes into the feed. You have to make sure when you're doing those that you want to make sure that you have a strong cover image so that it looks pretty, it stands out. So far we've talked about coming up with the ideas. So you store your ideas bank and you've got the keyword research, so you know exactly where you are. Here's the schedule. So if you know this is the title, these are the keywords, and then you can say, right, I'm now going to create a blog post. So you then go to, here we are, here's a blog post on my website. So this is essentially, I've got Pinterest images that are here, and I have, here's the video that is from YouTube, and so a description of how this is all done, more Pinterest images. So we create a bunch of pins on the back of a particular blog post, which is on the back of a particular video, and then we have those saved, so that it means then you're creating a blog post. You can embed your video into it, but at the same time you can then also have lots of different pins, which then get, so here are my pins just below here, which then I then save to Pinterest. So I'm creating multiple pieces of content from just one idea, one thought process that goes onto YouTube, and then it goes out from there. I hope this kind of gives you a sort of overview of how I repurpose and reuse content and ensure that I am creating consistent content, because you can do the sharing and then, several weeks later you're uploading that content, and so people forget. People don't always remember. So the more that you can create content and consistently share it, the better.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. I try to share lots of tips and strategies to help you build and grow your online business through content creation, whether that's courses, videos, blog posts. You just need to build your audience, and that's what I'm all about. If you like this video, I would love you to subscribe. Please click on the link below.